Good morning, America. The top stories of the day includes the Dred Scott decision, the Missouri Compromise, the Fugitive Slave Act, and the Nebraska-Kansas Act. For our first story, we have the Supreme Court that just released their decision for the Dred Scott case. Live from the courtroom, we have a reporter talking to Dred Scott.
I'm live on the scene in the courtroom at the Supreme Courthouse in Washington, D.C., where they have just finished up with the Dred Scott case. Ultimately, the Supreme Court was not on Mr. Scott's decision. And look, here he is now. Mr. Scott, how do you feel that the court was not on your side?
I felt that the court did not care at all with what I was explaining to them. I moved to a free state, and therefore I was free and not a slave anymore. This racist system is not acceptable.
Is there anything else you would like to say?
No, that's all I have to say.
All right, back to you, Will.
Our next story is about Anthony Burns. Anthony Burns is a runaway slave who's being held at a courtroom in Boston. For more on this story, we have a reporter on the streets of Boston covering the scene.
3, 2.
I'm here where Anthony Burns is being held in a courtroom where they are debating whether or not to send him back to the plantation. This has caused a large group of rioters to storm out of the courthouse. I'm here with Adam Jones. How do you feel about the whole situation?
It really hurts me on the inside to see another human being treated in such a cruel manner, as if he were an animal. This man is a faithful servant of the Lord. To dishonor God's child is to dishonor God himself.
Pretty nice. Now we're going back to the recording studio.
2.
For our next segment, we are traveling down to a plantation in South Carolina to get their opinion on the Fugitive Slave Act.
2.
I'm at the residency of a plantation owner where he's giving his opinion on the Fugitive Slave Act. Mr. Brown, how do you feel about the Fugitive Slave Act?
I completely support the Fugitive Slave Act. If someone were to steal your shovel, wouldn't you want it back? Just like you, I want my property on my plantation, picking my cotton.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Back to the studio.
We have breaking news coming out of Washington. A new bill has been passed. Down at the Capitol, we have a reporter to tell us more about this new law.
2.
Slow down.
I am here on the Senate floor where a new law has just been passed called the Missouri Compromise. The Missouri Compromise is to diffuse the sectional and political rivalries triggered by the request of Missouri, who wanted to become in as a slave state. The way this is balanced out is by the fact that Maine also came in as a free state. They're going to be deciding whether future territories are going to be free or slave based on whether or not state lies above or below the latitude 3630.
2.
North of this latitude will be a free state. South of this latitude will be slave. Back to you, Will.
Now we are going to look at the aftermath of the Kansas-Nebraska Act, of what people are calling Bleeding Kansas.
2.
I'm here in Kansas where there's rioting going on because of the Kansas-Nebraska Act that was passed a couple weeks ago. People are moving in from all over the country to try to make this state a free or slave depending on their point of view. The problems that this is causing the problems that is causing the conflicts that arose between pro-slavery and anti-slavery settlers in the aftermath of the Act's passage led to the period of violence. This is what some people are calling Bleeding Kansas. Back to you.
2.
Thank you for being here with us today, and make sure to be with us tomorrow morning with some breaking news. Don't just have a great night, have an American